Welcome back. You're watching Parentology with Paula. I'm Paula Fidalgo Gretzinger. Did you know that 1.6 million cancer cases are projected in the United States in 2014? And out of those, 500,000 are projected to die. You're about to hear a story of a young man that had everything going for him, 15-year-old Dante Gallucci. One day he received a call that changed his life forever.
A year ago, he was training to be the #1 defensive lineman on the best football team in Section 2.
Walking's really hard now, so it makes you think about what you took for granted when you were healthy.
Dante was a starter for CYO, AAU, and high school basketball. He won championships against great competitors, but something happened.
We actually had Dante's wisdom teeth out, and he was remarkable because after that we thought he would swell up, and he didn't. And so he was thinking, this is great, Mom. Nothing has happened to me like happened to other people. But
2 weeks later, his neck started to swell up, and that began the process that changed his life forever.
That initial call that we got from our doctor saying, you know, right now it looks like a lymphoma, and you know, we're going to be in contact with you later today. So, you know, it was a normal shopping day. We were just shopping for groceries, and we kind of were expecting some sort of a call, but not that call.
Dante was diagnosed with cancer.
It's a form of leukemia called acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and there's a subtype called T-cell lymphoblastic leukemia.
I guess the first thing that popped in my head is, like, what's going to happen now?
Dr. Alexander Gozman is Dante's doctor at Albany Medical Center. He tells parents and kids to try to still live a normal life.
I do tell them that, you know, I don't want you to be in a bubble. You know, I think it's hard. It is hard because the parents, of course, want to protect their child, so they don't want them to go out and do many things. So I do try to encourage them. It's okay to be outside, even when the blood counts are low. It's kind of the crowded areas that you have to be very careful with, and who comes over to visit. That anyone, if even a little sniffle, they should not come and visit.
For some people, it's possible to live their normal life, but for me, it wasn't really, because I was athletic and liked to be outside every day and run around.
The first year is so important for you to be with your child, and, you know, anything can come up on any given day.
According to Dr. Gozman, Dante has had some bumps along the way.
There have been periods of time where certainly Dante had not been feeling well. The treatment is very powerful and does make people going through it feel very tired, sick, in pain at times.
The hardest part of treatment for Dante?
Probably the side effects from the chemo.
The effects of chemotherapy. You know, their blood counts go down because the chemotherapy, you know, destroys not only the good cells, but it does affect some of the normal cells. So there are periods of time where they are anemic, so their red cells go down. There are thrombocytopenia, which means low platelets, where they can easily bruise and bleed. And the white cells are down, and these are the cells that we need to fight off infections.
Well, it's hard because they give you different kinds of chemo, so you have different kinds of side effects, but they give it to you week after week, so it's kind of hard to recover from it.
Dante told me that nausea and loss of strength are some of the side effects he's experienced, but also...
At one point I was burnt in the whole inside of my body from one of the chemos, and I wasn't able to talk or eat, so that was hard.
It lasted for about 2 days. How did he communicate?
I used my phone. I had one of those apps where you could type in and then it would speak for you.
Dr. Gozman says this process doesn't just affect the children, but also the parents, having to see their child not feeling well and being in the hospital for a long period of time.
You know, I mean, it's probably the hardest thing for a parent to see their child suffering. And it is, I'm sure, you know, the hardest thing that they'll have to go through.
They are in and out of the hospital. It could be a day or even weeks. Teri says you need to find what's best for your family, and it's different for every family.
Dante and I probably see a little bit more of the ugly side of all this, and we're at the hospital every day, and we're doing all the blood, and you know, the blood work and all of the tests, the chemo, and but we choose to do it that way. As a family, we made that decision.
The number one thing is, I would say, is just to stay strong. You know, it's easy to lose hope kind of going through this difficult time, but I would say that it's taking it kind of one day at a time and just being there, of course, for their child, but also asking for help as well when they need it. Because sometimes I think parents can get overwhelmed going through this process, and we do have people that can help, including the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
Dante says his biggest cheerleader is without a doubt his mom.
I've become really close, especially to my mom, because we spend every day together now at the hospitals and every night when we're admitted. So
I don't know, we get each other. He's sort of he's my soul. You know, he thinks and behaves like I would, so we kind of get one another, and it's made for a better journey.
Dante is a sophomore in high school, but he can't go to school like every other teenager.
We have 3 tutors who come in, and they're absolutely terrific. They're like family.
How did Dante and his mom stay so positive?
Dante and I try to do every day is you need to find a bright spot. So we go from event to event, and we're giving back as we're receiving.
Well, things like chemo, like when you come in and get chemo, like surround yourself with people that are gonna make you not think about it, so then it's not as bad.
It's a remarkable journey, and there are some real dark sides to it, and then there are so many things that I wouldn't change in a million years, or that, you know, the friendships that we've made.
I just want to make sure that Dante continues to get better, and he's going to have an amazing trip to Italy, and you know, we're there for whatever he needs.
I asked Dante if there's light at the end of the tunnel.
There is, because I know a lot of people that have gone through this that are extremely healthy now and living a great life.
For Parentology, I'm Paula Fidalgo Gretzinger. Let's make parenting a priority.